time. Does that make sense? Or am I like blabbling? Hey, Miranda.
Hey, girl. I just like jumped on and you just like rocking and rolling with it. And I'm like, hey.
Oh, no.
You used to that.
Like with the content, like I was just like, this is outside the scope of what I was talking about. But that's one of the things that I do, because people are like, oh, well, how are you coming up with different stuff? I was like, well, I learned a long time ago. You just take that you take a piece of content. Like now, I'm going to go live on my Facebook.
Awesome.
While we're on the call. So that I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to you guys, but they still get to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you can take that, and I said, you know, I can look at that later, and I can take something that I liked and say, oh, that was real good, and I can make it a quote. Absolutely. And then you know what I'm saying? And so you can just take that one little piece of content that you made, and you can reuse it and reuse it and reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. Take a screenshot of it and say something about it. Do this, that, and the third, so that you're not always feeling like, oh my God, I need to come up with new stuff. No, do something. You know, pick a topic, make a video, and you can take that video and do Instagram, a blog, a podcast, like whatever your social media outlets are. You can take what you just did and you can utilize that one piece and make it all work.
Absolutely. One thing I've noticed too, oftentimes when I go live on Facebook, I find myself saying things that are like really awesome that I didn't plan. And I get so inspired. And so I'll often go down some rabbit trail I didn't even plan on. And then that gives me an idea on something to expound on later on Instagram or on my like page.
Yeah. And when y'all get those ideas, like write them down or do something, or sometimes even go back and listen to yourself. I know people hate to do that because we're our own worst critics and we're like, I don't want to listen to myself. But if you do, like Miranda said, you will find something and be like, that was good. You know what I'm saying? You'll be surprised.
Absolutely. Well, we're so excited to have you on tonight. I just am so grateful for your time. I know that you've got a precious little guy that just started to school recently and had a birthday, and you probably could be spending time with him right now, snuggling and reading bedtime stories. So I know what it takes to be on these calls and do this. So thank you, and tell your husband thank you. But I wanted my team to hear from you, Chonta, because you know, I don't know how much my team knows about our connection and our story, but I met Chonta and her husband for the first time on a bus from the cruise port to the beach as we rode we were in Jamaica, right?
Right, we were in Jamaica. Mm-hmm.
And so we hung out on the beach all afternoon. I got to play with her sweet, sweet, precious little boy, biggest imagination you've ever seen. And on the way back to get back on the cruise ship, we just had this amazing heart-to-heart connection about faith and life and bringing faith into this business. And since then, I've just been stalking her on Facebook, and I love her energy. She inspires me all the time. I actually have the Diva Light too, but I'm not using it right now because we just moved and everything is in disarray. So that beautiful glow she's got going on, there's a secret there.
There's a secret there.
Oh my gosh. So if you guys aren't following Chonta yet on social media, go follow her. She will inspire the heck out of you. And she's just brilliant at sharing and being open. So anyway, without further ado, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about her from a business perspective. She's a 3-star diamond. She's huge in the Atlanta Market Council over in Georgia. I got to hear all about her from Brandy, just raving about the leadership that the flowers were showing over there and the amazing growth rate in Atlanta. And so, you know, Brandy was really just bragging. I was like, who is this girl? And so she's rocking it in her business. Amazing mama. She's a former U.S. Marine. She's got, listen to this, guys, a 61-pound weight loss success story. So she walks the walk. You know, you'd never know from seeing her now that she used to be 60 pounds heavier. She's also an instructor for Insanity, Turbo Fire, and Size. And you guys have got to check out her morning videos with her husband. They're so awesome. They'll start your day off just with a smile on your face. So check that out and be sure you're following her. She'll set a great example for you. And we can't wait to hear what you have for us tonight, Chonta. So it's all yours, girl.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Miranda, for inviting me. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am so excited to be on your team call tonight, especially talking about social media and authenticity. Like, I feel like I wrote the book on that, not because I'm such an expert. It's really because I'm so crazy that there was no other way to do social media other than be authentic. So as she said, my name is Chonta Flowers. I won't bore you with all of the accolades, but I will tell you a little bit about my story and how I kind of came to Beachbody. I have been a Beachbody coach now for 5 years, which is Beachbody old. Miranda's Beachbody old too. We're Beachbody. Oh, we're the OGs, original gangsters. We've been around here a long time. And as you know, as entrepreneurs, rarely do you have people that make it 5 years anywhere. And so when you do that, that's a big, big, big step. So I celebrated my 5th anniversary in August. So I'm super excited about that. So that's amazing. So let me tell you a little bit about where I started. So my son literally was about maybe 1. He was about 1 year old. And I was just searching for something. What can I do? I just wasn't feeling like myself. I wasn't necessarily super fit before, but of course I wasn't after baby weight either. And so I was kind of like stuck in that little period of just feeling blah, like knowing I could be better, knowing I could do better, but not knowing how to do that. And I remember sitting at my kitchen table, y'all, and I was just crying my eyes out, crying. Oh, God, like telling my husband, I don't know what to do. I just can't lose this weight. I don't know what I should do. So on and so forth, crying. I mean, like real tears at the kitchen table because I couldn't fit in my clothes. I don't like anything. Look, I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but I mean, I just did not I was not satisfied. And it's never about a weight, guys, or a specific size, but it is how you feel. And so I knew that I could be better, and I just wasn't satisfied with what was going on. And so I had tried everything. I had done like the lemonade diet. I had master cleanse, hot dog diet, whatever kind of diet that was, I had done it. I had done an ultrasound where they cool sculpt the fat out of your body. I had done that too. Paid $2,000 to go get that done. It don't work. Please don't do that. Don't waste your money. I had done everything. I had tried every quick fix. I had tried everything that I was big and bad enough to try and to do. And it was just, none of it was working. So I'm sitting at that table and I'm crying my eyes out. And my husband basically was like, have you done everything that you can? Have you done everything? Because I was asking him for surgery. I was like, I really would like to have surgery. I think that that'd be great. I'm ready for it. And he was like, okay, well, think about it. But first, I need you to tell me that you've tried everything. I said, no, I haven't really tried everything. I'll try one more thing. So we left the table at that. And I went to Google. And I tell you this story because I'm very much an unorthodox coach. I have a very unorthodox, weird story. I went to Google. Google is how I found Beachbody, not a person. I didn't know anybody affiliated with Beachbody. I had never even heard of it, never heard of coaching. So I wasn't introduced to a family of friends. So you guys are in a great predicament when you are introduced by somebody who knows, likes, and trusts you, or that you know, like, and trust. But me, no. I was sitting there with the computer and Google being my friend. And so I was Googling health shakes. That's what I was doing, like health shakes, because I like to take pills. And I was going to Whole Foods, and I had bought like everything from Whole Foods, like everything that I thought I could buy. Everything Dr. Oz said, I went and bought it. I had cabinets full of stuff. I was wasting so much money all the time, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I don't know if you've ever been to Whole Foods, but you ain't walking out of there without spending $300, $400, $500, right? And I'm trying to buy this stuff, and I'm buying it, but I'm not consistent with it. So I was just so in that place. And I'm on Google and I'm looking and I'm searching, and there's lots of stuff that comes up. We know that we're not the only company around, right? There are lots of companies. But what happened was through that research, at the time I was in my doctorate program, I'm all but dissertation, just to let you know, like I have done everything but my dissertation in my doctorate coursework. And so I'm just like a super geek. So I'm looking. And Shakeology comes up, and I'm going to tell you, I was real shallow. I picked Shakeology and started with Shakeology because it meant the study of shake, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, oh, this one, the study of shake, I'm going with that, you know? And seriously, that's how shallow it was. And it was like the one that had the money back guarantee, and it said that it had the, you know, like the natural products. And I was like, okay, I'm going for this natural situation, so I'm going to try this. So I did that, and I clicked on it. I bought it. Now, some of you, this is going to speak to some of you. There are some people that have sticker shock when they see Shakeology. There's a lot of sticker shock. Like, oh my God, I am not buying that. That costs so much. I don't know. You may have customers that have sticker shock. But for me, I saw the price and I bought it so quick. Like, I didn't even hesitate. I was like, oh, okay, buying it. Let me tell you why. Because there again, I told you I have been the Whole Food shopper. I have been the person that was going to Smoothie King. I have been the person that was trying to buy juices. And if you go to any place to buy juice, if you go to Starbucks at all, which I do, hello, and you do all that, you notice that you spend way more. So for me, I was like, oh, this isn't expensive. This isn't expensive at all. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna do it. So I bought it, and then I YouTubed. Then I went on YouTube because I decided I just bought something, but I don't even know what this is. Let me see if I even trust it. And I went to YouTube and I started to look over all of the videos and the reviews and things like that. And at the time, there was no such thing as a challenge pack, y'all. So I was buying everything separate. And I found my coach on YouTube because she was giving a review. And she was the one coach that was authentic. So to bring you to what we're actually going to be talking about, she was authentic. She was that coach that was sitting there. You know how sometimes everybody loves everything. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh my God, you have to try it. Every single flavor is awesome. And so I didn't like that. And I had my coach who was like, yeah, not so much. I don't like that green beer. And I was like, yes, her. That one. The one that was cool enough to say that she didn't like a specific flavor, I like her because she was very authentic in her review, what she liked, what she didn't like. And so that attracted me to her. And so I signed with her and kind of the rest of there. I then went and bought Insanity. And I did 3 rounds of that, plus a round of Turbo Fire, and that's how I lost the 61 pounds. So it's also about consistency with me. It did not happen really fast at all. It took a while for me to be able to do what I did with the weight loss, but I was just super consistent. I just did what they told me to do. I followed the
Well, no, it won't be 12. I'm cooking something simple.
Look at somebody else. That's okay.
Don't stop. Don't. He ate at 11.
You want to try to mute?
No, we were having leftovers. I just made cauliflower to go with it. He waited till 11 to eat.
Calling you out. We can hear you, girl. For some reason, you're unmuted.
It's okay.
I got you.
It's okay.
It's okay. We're all busy, mamas. You tell them kids, girl. Get them kids.
She's doing the right thing. That's what's beautiful thing about this business, right? Right? Because we have families, and we do it in the midst of, and we do it right in the crevices and the cracks of our day. Miranda's eating dinner. I went and had a little Jesus juice a little earlier. So that's what we do. You know, we work this in. But anyway, so I lost the 61 pounds doing that, and kind of the rest is history. I started telling my story. I didn't even know what this was. Social media to me was new. So it was just a place where I was just going to be super, super honest about what was going on. So I shared my strengths, my struggles, my victories. I just was sharing it with people, and people kind of just came on and they took that and they rolled with me through it. And so that was really cool. And that's kind of how I got started. So I want to give you a little background because it is so unorthodox. It is so different. And so to also let you know that there's somebody out there right now, the person is me, that's waiting for you, that doesn't care anything about a price tag, that wants to get healthy. They're looking for a solution. They're looking for an answer, and they're looking for somebody that they can trust, which brings us to what we're talking about, which is being freaking authentic on social media, being so authentic, being so you that people are either going to love you to death or they're going to hate you pretty much. And that is the goal. That is the goal. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that with every post that you make. I want you to think about that with everything that you do. I wanted you to be so you that people are either going to be repelled or they're going to be like, I stinking love that person. You know, it's really not a lot of times they're in the middle. They either love you a lot or they're like, that's not my jam. But guess what? The people that feel like you're not their jam, love them, bless them, release them. It is totally okay because they weren't for you. That's not your tribe. So it's about finding who you are so you can help them find who they are, and so that you can empower each other to be amazing. That's basically what you're trying to do when you're out here on social media. You're not sharing because you care about likes. Who gives a stink about likes and how many people like? I know we do that, and it's like, oh, such and such had 500 likes and I only had 10 likes. They must really like her and they must really not like me. And it has nothing to do with that. So if that is ever your personality or how you feel, I need you to stop that right now, because it doesn't matter. Because when you're being authentic, you don't do it for the likes. You do it because you're being authentic. You do it because you're telling the truth. You do it because you're telling your story. You do it because you have something to share and something to say. You're not doing it based upon how many people are going to see it, how many people are going to love it, because God will bring the right people to you. And sometimes out of all those, they might have had 500 and you might have had 2, but that one out of those little 10 likes that you got was the person that needed to see it. He will bring who he needs to bring to you. So never worry about that. Never be so caught up in who's liking your stuff and who is on your page and who's on your feed and who's commenting and who's engaging that you miss out on the reason why you're there in the first place. Because if not, then you're going to start trying to share messages that aren't authentic to you. You'll start trying to share things that you think that other people will like. And then you're not being yourself anymore. You're trying to cater. You're trying to figure out, let me see how I can get the most likes. Let me tell you how you have so many people on Instagram almost doing soft porn. You know why? Because they do it for the likes. They do it for the likes. Because they know if they post something about their family, they may get 50 or 60 likes. But if you post something in a thong, honey, here they come. But you have to ask yourself, are the people that coming the people that you want? So those are the things that you have to ask yourself when you're posting, when you're on social media, when you're thinking about that. Do you even want that attention? Why are you doing that? Who is that for? We've become so skilled at filtering our lives and showing others only what we want them to see. We filter it to such a place. And don't get me wrong, I love a good filter, honey. I am the filter queen. Give me a flower crown and I am like in heaven all day. I'm like, peace, duck lips, woo, you know what I mean? But you have to make sure that when you are doing that, when you are filtering, that you're filtering for fun and not trying to filter who you really are out. You're not trying to filter that person out. You need to be able to tell the truth about who that person is. Now, I will filter and I will take a blemish away, but then I'll be real honest and tell you that I got it. The reason that I was not on social media last week is because World War III broke out right here on the left side of my face. And I was just like, you know what? 457 people told me happy birthday. And they probably think I am the worst person in the world, but I wasn't talking to nobody because I'm not getting on here with all these bumps right here. So I will tell you about it, but I'm not getting on here. You get what I'm saying? And so you have to know why you're doing it, who you're doing it for, what's the reason, and make sure that when you're filtering that it's fun. Because what's happening now in social media especially is because we can edit. We have an edit button. And we're able to just text, and we hide behind our computers and we write and then we read. Is that what I really wanted to say? Did I say that right? I don't know if I should say it like that. Let me edit that. Let me take this word out. Let me put this word in. And we take 9,762 pictures to get that right one, right, ladies? I know you do it because I do it, right? Because I don't know. The lighting isn't good on that one. Oh, muffin top. Nope. You know what I mean? Suck it in right there. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not my side. You're standing with somebody. Oh, get off to the right because that's not my side. And we do all of these things because we're trying to present this best self. And I'm not telling you not to present your best self, you know, but what I am telling you is there comes a time where you have to be super honest with what and why. So as you're presenting your best self, be honest about it. Tell the truth. Say, honey, this is my 972. This is picture 972. I've taken 1 million of these, and this is the one that I got. And know that, and stop looking at other people and comparing and saying, wow, I get so much hero worship. And I'm not trying to say that I am just, you know, anything, but I get a lot of hero worship. Girl, you're so beautiful. Girl, you're such and such. But if you know me, I would tell you I got this big, pretty diva ring light that gives me some glow in the eye and some gleam. You know, I will throw some hair in here. You know, I will do what I need to do to feel comfortable about myself. But don't hero pressure people because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what kind of gadgets they have. You don't know what they have learned. You don't know if this is the 800th picture that they have taken. You don't know any of that. And we play this comparison game and we're sitting and we're watching and we're sitting and we're watching. And we become inauthentic because we're looking and we think that, okay, I have to be like them. I need to be like this person. I need to go get that light like Chonta if I'm going to really get on here and own the social media game. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you want to get a little gleam in your eye, yes, get the light. But the light is not necessary to start sharing your story. I have been sharing my story for the 5 years that I have been on here, and there was no diva ring light. And so you need to make sure that that's what you're doing, because social media kind of trains us to present a self that isn't honest, right? It's not so honest. And we learn that. And if you're in business, you really learn that. Like, only talk about the good stuff. Nobody wants to hear the negative stuff. Only talk about this and only talk about that. But you have to understand that everything that you say must be true, but not everything true must be said, right? So when you're talking, make sure that that's real. It's real, it's authentic, it's right, but every single thing doesn't always have to be said. So you can tell the truth without saying every single thing. Now, me, I am an oversharer. I am guilty number one. I overshare everything. If I got to go poop, I'm going to let you know. You know, I'm just her. But you don't have to do that. And you don't have to feel like you're doing that. That's right, Deirdre. She said that isn't flawed. Right. Because there are flaws and people have them. And so you have to make sure that when you are out there, you are being honest and you're being true, because if not, it's hard to keep up with the lie. It's hard to keep up with it. It's hard to think about what you said last month and then act like that's still the truth. When in all honesty, things are falling apart. You're overwhelmed. You're drowning. All kinds of stuff is happening, you know, but you're presenting this perfect picture and you have to try to keep up with it. And I think a lot of times it is social media that causes depression for a lot of people right now, because they're trying to keep up with something. Oh, I said that I was going to do this, and so I got to keep acting like, even though that's no longer what's happening. And so you have to be okay with that and understand that we connect through our weaknesses and our struggles. That's really where you connect. Do you know that people don't really think about your posts? The ones that are the most meaningful and the ones that carry the most weight are usually not, and I think you'd agree with me, Miranda, they're usually not your perfect post. They're usually not that post when you're like, I'm my boss in it today. Everything's wonderful. I just did this. I checked off everything on my to-do list. I am killing it. You know, my abs are showing. Everything's wonderful. My teeth are white. It is amazing. Those are usually not the posts that are the most meaningful to people. Now, we make them because we have to document that stuff, right? I rarely have a mom bossing day where I'm just killing it. So when I'm killing it, believe you me, I'm going to share it with you now. But they're not impactful. They're not meaningful. You know what it does? It usually makes people sit there and say, gosh, look at her. Wish I could do that. Wonder how she did that. And then they start feeling inadequate and not enough because they feel like they can't keep up. And so we actually hurt people sometimes when we're trying to put forth this I'm so perfect persona. You don't need to do that at all, because we connect through our weaknesses and our struggles. That's when we connect. The ones that mean the most usually are when you are bringing people through a struggle that you've had, when you're sharing a testimony, when you're saying, man, let me tell you what happened to me, or this is what used to be wrong, or this is what was messed up and this is how I fixed it. This is what came out of this, or this is what I've learned. I know you've read the book, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, because we really don't lose if you do it right. And when we're sharing that learning process and we're sharing those struggles with others, that's when you see people connect. That is when you see the most meaningful posts and engagement that you'll ever see on anything that you ever do on social media. When I tell people about the struggle, when I go back and tell people that I lost 61 pounds, that's when people like, say what? I didn't know you did that. Oh my God. Because you know what they see now? They see me working out every day. They see me talking about the little arm muscle I have developed. They don't know the struggle and the story and the journey and what brought me to the point that I'm at now. And so make sure, guys, that when you're talking to people and when you're here, that you are bringing people through. You're letting them know what used to happen, where the past, where you are in the present, and where you're going in the future. So it's kind of like 3 parts to when you're describing yourself online, you know, and you're bringing people in and you're letting people get to know you, where you've been, where you are now, and where you are going. Those are all super duper duper important. I want you to really just not worry, about the affirmation when you're doing that. Because when you are sharing those things, there are going to be those times, like I said, where it looks like, oh God, I just bared my soul and nobody said anything. Have you done that? I've done that. Have you ever written that post? Like, I have crafted a post that I thought was amazing. Like, I wrote that thing after I edited it like 7,000 times. And then I took 6,562 pictures. And then I took the background out with PicMonkey and I put up some pretty quotes and I made it nice. And it had like a gold filter and it's looking excellent. And then I put it up there and I'm waiting. And then you're like refreshing the screen, right? Y'all ever did that? You're refreshing, like I done posted it. And nobody said anything. 5 minutes later, you're like refreshing. Like maybe my computer isn't working because I know they've seen all of that. I know this was awesome, right? And nobody says anything. You never know what's going to move people and what's not going to move people. And that's why you have to not worry about that. Because if that is purely what you're doing it for, then you're not being real. But if you put that post out because you felt like it was something that needed to be said, and you felt like it was something that was going to help someone, then it will always come back to you in the correct manner. The right person will need to see it, and they may never like it. They may never write anything, ever. But they will look at it. They will read it. They will see it. It will get ingrained in them. They will feel it, and they will feel worthy, and they will feel important. And they will be like, oh, my God, she did that? Miranda went through that, too. So did I. Oh, my gosh, she had a hard time. Oh, my gosh, she used to be in debt. Me, too. Right? And people don't want to say that out loud. So no, they're not coming. You're not going to get a whole bunch of people to sign up to be like, girl, I'm in debt. Girl, I'm obese. Girl, I got a problem. Girl, I was about to go to divorce court today. You're not going to get a whole lot of that going on because people don't want to admit that stuff, right? But just know that they see it. Know that they see it. And, like, if you remember, like, when you're thinking about the Bible, and I don't know how many of you guys are Christian. I respect our faith. But, Christ removed the veil. And so we have to think of it like that. Like there's a veil that we have to remove as well. Remove your social media veil. Remove the veil that you have put on, that front that you have put on for everyone else. You have to remove it. You have to say, you know what? It is not serving me and it's not serving the people here. What is going to serve them is being you. That's when it's going to serve them. I know you hear it all the time. You hear about being you, right? It is like probably, I want to say, the number one like a meme or motivational quote that I've ever seen. Be you. Be beautiful. Be you. And I think what happens is it just sounds good and it becomes white noise. Because sometimes I really honestly think that we have become so far removed that we don't know how to be us anymore. We don't even know who we are anymore. And sometimes we don't know who we've ever been because we've had a mask on and we've had a veil on for so long that we have no clue who that person is. And so I ask you, when you hear me say be you, she's feeling all the feels today. When I'm telling you to be you, I'm saying go discover who that is. Take the time to discover who that is and understand that your feelings may change. Understand that your mind may change. You don't have to stay the same way. If you felt some way on Tuesday and then on Friday you woke up with a different perspective, guess what? That's okay. You don't have to feel like you need to be stuck. I'm stuck because I know last week I said that I was doing this. Last week I said I was paleo, but honey child, I want some fruit. Eat the fruit. Eat the bread. You know what I'm saying? Like you change your mind. I changed my mind today, and that's okay. Be okay with that. Be okay with changing your mind. You understand that your approval doesn't come from likes. Your approval comes from Jesus. That's where our approval comes from. So if we're doing the right thing and we are glorifying him and we are, bringing glory to the kingdom and being Jesus with skin on, because that's what I like to think of myself, Jesus with skin on. We're the ones out here and we're loving on people and we're feeding people and we're doing what he told us to do and we're encouraging people and we're lifting people up. That is what counts. Not those stinking likes or how many members you got, how many followers you got, and such got 86,722 and they pay $40 a day to get them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Jesus sees. That's where your reward comes from, right? And so he's going to make it all right. But you got to be okay with that. And you have to understand the journey in which he's taking you because your journey is yours alone. It's not anybody else's. Your journey isn't mine. It isn't somebody else's, not anybody else's on this team. It's not Miranda. It's not your team leader. You can't look and say, well, this is what happened to her, and she did it so fast. And such came in. They came in this business, and in 2 months, they're a millionaire. Woo! Good for them. I want you to clap it up, and I want you to genuinely be happy for them, and then understand that you're still on your own journey. Yours is yours, okay? And I want you to understand that sharing our collective human experiences is the most wonderful benefit of social media. It is sharing our human experiences, the things that make us human. You know, those funny little inklings, those things that that seem that they're so minuscule because we spend a whole lot of time. I believe in value and value posts, but we spend so much time creating that we forget the small things like today's my kid's first day of school. I'm gonna talk about that today. Because guess what? It's a lot of first days of school happening. And so they're looking at yours, you're looking at theirs, and we're sharing this human experience. We're all like, oh, the babies. And it's that human experience that we share, and when we comment and we care about somebody else, and we say, oh, that was such a cute bow in your little girl's hair. That matters. Because that mom took a lot of time to tie that bow. And so when somebody noticed it, you just made her day. You just absolutely made her day. And so we need to make sure that it's not just the crap, and it's not just the big, huge things, the rank advancements, or this happened, or I earned this much money, which are also important because it helps people believe in themselves. I'm not degrading those, but I'm saying that it's also the human experiences, the non-scale victories, the, oh my God, like today I had to go fix this gray in my hair. Y'all see, no gray here, no gray here. But yesterday I had gray hair. I was not happy about the gray hair. But guess what? When I talked about my gray hair, people was like, girl, me too, I gotta go. Human experiences. Because a lot of us are gonna go gray, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are dealing with that right now. And so just make sure that you're sharing that collective human experiences, because that is what makes you real and relatable. That's what makes somebody say, I really dig that Miranda chick. She is everything. I love the ombre in her hair. That's what makes them dig her, not the fact that she's a such and such star diamond. People don't even know what the heck that is. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They don't know what that is. They like that she looks like that. And let me tell you what attracted me to Miranda, who's amazing. Miranda got a grown-up child. And so I had like mommy worship. I was like sitting there like, Lord Jesus, when my son get that old, can I please look like Miranda in the name of Jesus? Hallelujah. I was just praying, and it was that human experience of this hot chick with this grown child. And I was like, yes, you know what I'm saying? That's what really did it. That's what attracted me. Oh, she's a lady coach. Oh, that's nice. Girl, tell me how to look like that when my kid is grown. You get what I'm saying? So make sure that you're sharing those collective experiences. And don't be afraid in your own social media, when you're on your own feed, to hide, to follow, and to block people that do not serve you. Okay? You don't always have to unfriend them. But sometimes, because we stuck in that comparison trap, if you do find yourself always comparing, it's okay to hit the unfollow button. Hit it. I'm going to tell you to do it. I've had to do it. I've had to do it because in this business, we all know I will wake up on Thursday in tears. Oh, God, why not me? Everybody's doing this. This is happening. It's not happening for me. It's not happening so fast. I don't understand. And then I start hiding all of that, and then I realized, God, that's such a small part of the population. You know what I'm saying? And I just start feeling very happy again. And it's not that I'm not happy for other people. It was just that those things were not serving me, because it was always making me go into a comparison mode. It was always making me be like, feel a certain way. And so don't do that. And if people aren't serving you, or they're coming on your page and they aren't, serving you with positivity, not that people can't leave their opinion. I don't mind opinions. But if it's not positive, if it's negative, if it causes bad feelings, use your block button. Become very familiar with it. Block people and unfollow people. No problem. I want you to understand that authenticity is your greatest asset. It is your greatest asset. There are some of you out here that probably have beautiful eyes, and somebody told you your eyes are gorgeous. Some of you have some really awesome hair. Some of you paid for some great boobs. I'm sure. I'm going to pay for some pretty soon. I I paid for these teeth. They are pretty awesome, I must admit. But what I want to tell you is authenticity actually is your greatest asset, because nobody can be you like you. Nobody. So when you're wondering, you're saying, I don't have a gift, or who am I going to impact? Honey, you being you and you sharing the you-ness of the youer, right? You is what's going to impact people. You being authentic to your own journey. You sharing with people about what you are going through, how you feel, your body changes, your situation with your family, how you do your time management, how you meal prep your meals, how there's no such thing as saturation. People think, well, somebody's already doing that. Well, nobody does it like you. So when you think of that and you're wondering, and some of you times you won't post. Have you ever done that? I've done that. Where I had something that I really, really, really want to post, and I'm scrolling. I'm like, I was going to kind of say something like that, but some such said that, so I'm going to say that. But that's their experience. Share yours, because your experience is yours. And no matter how similar you think it may be, it's still different. It's still coming from you, and it's still all about you. And I want to suggest a book that has been thank you so much, Amber, that has been so amazing to me. And it's called Struggles. I see that? It's called Struggles. It's by Craig, I don't know how to say his name, Groeschel. And it's following Jesus in a selfie-centered world. It is an amazing book. It's basically how to keep your eyes fixed on Christ instead of glued to a screen, okay? It is amazing. It is an amazing, amazing resource. I can't tell you enough about it. He really just kind of breaks it down, the struggles that we kind of go through as we're dealing with this, as we're dealing with these changes and what's going on and how it's happening. But I promise you that it won't be so hard if you're just the you when the cameras go off. Because the you that you see, this is the same me that Miranda knows. When she met me in Jamaica, when she see me in person, I'm this crazy, gregarious, don't have a filter, say the wrong thing, grammar's all bad. I am her, honey, all the time. And so I don't have to turn into her. I don't have to say, oh, it's this way. No, let me go fix it, and let me go change it, and let me go. No. So if you're you all the time, you'll be you when the computers go off. You'll be you if Facebook disappears today. You'll be able to deal with people when you're actually talking to them, because there's so many people that I meet. I'm like, you're not the same person that's on Facebook. You're not that person. And you don't ever want people to feel like that about you. Okay, you want to say, oh, yeah, her. You want them to feel like they met you here, but then if they meet you in real life, they met you there, and they say, yeah, I feel like I've known you forever, because you're being authentic and real to yourself. And basically, that is it. If you guys have any questions, I'd be so happy to answer them. Hope I haven't taken up too much of your time. And I'm all, it's just crazy, but I'm really, really super passionate about people being their best selves, but also feeling comfortable to show all of their selves that are in progress, because we are 100% always under construction. So.
Absolutely. Amen, girl. Amen, amen, amen. Hallelujah. Like, you are so what we needed to hear. And I just adore your heart. And I know that you're just one of the most fun girls that I know, but under all that fun and gregarious is the biggest heart. And I'm just so proud for you and the life that you're leading and the way you bless so many people in the world that probably don't even ever tell you thank you. So on behalf of all those ungrateful people, thank you. And I know my team is just pouring in the comments about, preach it, girl, we love you, this is what I needed. And so I'm just glad that the Lord put it on my heart to ask you to speak to us, because I can tell from the feedback from these ladies that this was a need. And so thank you on behalf of them for giving us all permission to just be who God created us to be. That's it. That's it. I do have a couple of questions for you, though, as you were talking. I'm working with lots of new coaches right now that are on my cup teams. I have 2 different cup teams. And one thing that a lot of them are really struggling with as we kind of go through, what do I say in this conversation? And they are trying so hard to sound like an expert, to make sure they know all the ins and outs of every program, other products, other meal plans, trying so hard to make sure that they don't mess up in being an expert coach. what's your advice in a new coach that's kind of struggling with feeling like they don't know enough and like overkill on trying to analyze the ingredients and all these other products? And you feel me on that, right?
Absolutely. Well, the best thing that I can tell you, I'll tell you what I do. One thing I learned from Danny Johnson, which is I don't know. All I know is. I don't know about that. I don't know. Because people are like, what do you think about such and such? Honey, I don't know. I never drank that. All I know is this is what Shakeology does for me. Oh, have you ever tried? I don't know about that. All I know is you have to deal with what you know. And what you don't know, I think it's honesty is always the best policy to say, I don't know about that. I haven't done that. But let me tell you why this works for me. Always bring it back about why this thing, whether it's that meal plan, that workout program, Shakeology, this is what works for me. You never have to downplay or bash another program or another company. You never have to you have to know everything about that company. All you need to know about is what you got and why what you have is fabulous and how what they have told you, how this thing can help them. I think just be very honest. I'll say, I don't know, but this is what I do know. I know this. And what I do know is if for any reason you're not satisfied, you can always get your money back. And so I always kind of end it with that. You know what, girl? I don't know, but guess what? But for any reason, you're not satisfied, we want you to get results. This is what I want. That's my wish for you. I want you to get results. I want to be your accountability partner to help you do that. And so we will do what we can to help you do that. But if it doesn't work for you, I will help you get your money back. And I'm just super honest. Just about that. I'm the same way, and I tell people to be the same way. I'll expand upon that and say it depends on your personality as well. I'm a people person, but I'm also straightforward. So when I'm talking to people, I don't do a lot of beating around the bush. I used to because I heard that that's what you're supposed to do. And how's your kid? And they did what? And you're talking to somebody for like 45 minutes. I don't do that. I usually say, hey girl, so listen. You know what I'm saying? Because that's and I say, I know you've probably been contacted by a million people, but this is what I'm thinking. And people, like I said, they either love it or they don't. But one thing they can't ever say that I do is waste their time. But that's my personality. If you're fluffy, go. Do it. But I can't stand that when somebody's asking me, when they're talking to me for a week and really they just want to ask me if I want to buy some mascara. I really want you to just say, hey girl, do you want to get this mascara? And let me say yes or no and let's go on with it. We don't have to talk back and forth on Messenger for 2 weeks because you're trying to get up to asking me to get the mascara. So I'm saying if that's your personality, like whether you're a new coach or whatever you are, be honest. Hi, so this is what I was thinking. Let me tell you why I think X, Y, and Z will work for you. Not because you're expert, because you just told me that you had low energy. And what I know is since I've been taking Shakeology, my energy has been great. So this is why I would try that for you. And if it doesn't work for you, honey, get your money back. Boom.
I love that. I try to tell my team all the time, let yourself off the hook. You don't have to wait till you have results to be a coach. It's another thing. People think, oh, well, once people see my results, then they'll want to join me. No.
You don't wait till you see a movie before you ask somebody to go with you.
That's right. Exactly. One other question, and then see if they have any questions to ask you. I know it's getting late over there on the East Coast. What's the biggest thing that you personally have had to overcome in your own business?
Information overload. Honestly, when I first started, I was what I like to call ignorance on fire. And it probably was the best time in my business because I just did what I knew. I did what felt right. I had not yet learned what was the right way and the wrong way and the right lighting and the wrong lighting. And you shouldn't do it this way. And you should form and it should go FORM. Like I had not learned that stuff. And so for me, it was like, I'm doing Insanity, I'm drinking this shake, and I'm doing this meal plan, and it works. Don't you want to do it? Come on. Like, I was like, literally, I was that person that you probably thought was annoying, but it really worked for me. Because it was contagious. It was real. Even though it might have been annoying, but it was real, and it was authentic, and I didn't know the right and wrong ways. I feel like once I start learning all of the corporate stuff, I felt like, when it was like, oh, this is how, and you should present it this way. You should always be in your best light. And this is how you should do it. And when you have to bring 3 things of value and your video needs to be 3 minutes and you just tell them 5 things. And it needs to go, like all of that was just like, oh, I'm doing it wrong. And so I start like second guessing everything. I start being like being afraid a little bit. Like, I'm not doing it right. Okay, this is not how this conversation should go. You get what I'm saying? And I had a hard time, guys. Probably about a year. I was kind of stagnant. Like I just kind of maintained. I didn't grow. I did fall, but I was just kind of there. And I was very afraid because I was afraid of doing it wrong. Afraid I'm not going to be a great leader. Afraid I'm not going to, I don't know. I don't have the pretty blue boxes to give out my diamonds. Ain't that what you're supposed to do? That's what they do. Oh, you're supposed to go like this. Oh my God, you're supposed to be on a retreat to Costa Rica. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like all of these things that are cool. Don't get me wrong, but you get caught up in what you're supposed to be doing. And what you'll notice is when you go to like Summit or when you go to a meeting or a conference, you will meet so many successful coaches. And guess what? Each one of them is doing it different. And I just got so caught up. So I would have like pages and pages of notes. Well, such and such said, Lindsay Mallon said, Martin said, and all these people said, and I'm like, I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what to do. And so I would say that how I got over that really, and I oftentimes still get over it because I still can get caught up in that. Maybe I should be doing that. We kind of get caught up like squirrels. Whoop, they're doing this. Maybe I should be doing that. And you get away from what works for you because you should be doing this, right? Because Sensei's doing this and they're really successful, so you should be doing. And I just kind of bring it back to that. Does this feel right to me? Because some things are good to incorporate. Some things you do. It's kind of like you see it and you're like, yes, bring it. And then some stuff I'm like, I know they're doing that, but that feels really not my thing. But you'll try to do it because they are successful with it. If it's not your thing, it's my advice. And so I've been getting over that and being able to be more authentic in that process. And that hard thing by just kind of feeling out what works and kind of closing my eyes and having tunnel vision and saying, like, kind of a gut thing and saying, yes, you need to listen. Yes, you need to learn. Yes, you need to develop, but you just got to go. And you got to mess up along the way. And that, like what I told you guys earlier, that's okay to change your mind. It's okay to tweak, right? It's okay to do something and say, okay, we was doing for instance, my team, I had changed. We were doing team calls once every other week because I was trying to give them a chance to do something, but it wasn't really working. We needed to do it every week because we need to connect. You have to just say, I know I said we was doing this. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to do this. And you have to be okay with that. Be okay with apologizing, even if it's to challengers or to someone and saying, I know I may have told you this, or this is what feels right to me. And be honest. And I think the honesty, people appreciate honesty. People appreciate, for the most part, you saying. It's when you don't say. It's when you try to toggle your way around it or try to act like, then it looks shady. Don't be shady. Just fix it. You know what I mean? And be honest and say, I might change it again. Everything I always tell people, it's all, the jury's out. That's what I always say, the jury's out because, I don't know. I do things, the way I live my life now is I do things as long as they serve me. When they no longer serve me, when they no longer serve the team, when they no longer serve my challengers, I try to find something else. And that is how I was able to overcome that. And that's how I still overcome that.
Yeah, I relate to that so much. My first 2 summits, I think I filled up 3 composition notebooks full of notes. I wrote down every word every speaker said. And I laughed at myself this year because I took 5 pages of notes. I only wrote down what made that little red flag in my head go, ooh, that's good. That's something I need. That's something I would actually do. I have notes I've never even looked at from Summit last year and the year before because it's not relevant to me. Either the speaker was at a different place in their business or personal growth journey than I was, or it just wasn't me. I love Melanie Mitro. She's awesome, but I am never going to be as systematic and organized as she is. I'm just not. You're not going to see me on Instagram at 5 a.m. every day. It's just not going to happen. I'll be there sometimes, and other times it's going to be 9 o'clock at night, and sometimes it might be 2 p.m. but I'm going to be there. So yeah, I think one of the most important things I heard you say was, if it doesn't feel like me, if it's not, authentic to me and it's not relevant to me and my team, and, then don't worry about it. Even if it's right.
What you're trying to create. I always remember what you're trying to create. Even if it's off, sometimes it may be off. Sometimes it's nobody else is doing that, or it doesn't seem like they're doing it. Then you do it because that's what's going to work long-term for you. You know what I'm saying? You just have to kind of know that. Yeah.
For sure. Well, guys, We've got maybe about 3 or 4 more minutes left. If you have a question for Chonta, just throw it up in the group chat here on Zoom, and just a few minutes worth of questions. If you have something you're just dying to ask her, I know she'd be happy to answer.
So much nice stuff. She said, "I feel like I'm sitting in a coach revival." Hey! Just call me Bishop.
Absolutely. You guys don't have any questions? Oh yeah, Jessica Heckle is dealing with a lot of price objections right now. How do you deal with that, Chonta?
I only deal with people who are willing and wanting to work for them to do what we're talking about, like the value. They see the value in what we're doing and see the value in the product. I actually don't. And I'm not telling you this is the best information, because people do it different, but I actually don't fight people on price. When they start fight, I tell them why. I tell them why this is amazing. I tell them, I actually explain, I will break it down into a simplest denominator, saying basically you're buying it in bulk, but it's really only $4.30 a day. You cannot get a meal that provides you this much nutrition anywhere for $4.30 a day. So it's actually affordable. But I just explain to them what it is, and from what they've told me, I try to correlate why this can help them. But if they are still like, I don't beg, and I don't, but you got, no. So what I think that the best thing I can tell you, Jessica, honestly, when I learned this, my life got better. And I dealt with a lot less depression and a lot less just feeling like that I wasn't doing something right, when I would just move on. Because you're looking for the people who are looking for you and for what you have to offer, and they're looking for this. Does that make sense? And those people exist. I'm one of them. I didn't know anybody. I was looking for this. Does that make sense? And so sometimes you got to go through a lot. It's kind of like, coal mining or mining for diamonds. But, your job is just to share. Don't get married to the outcome ever. I always tell my coaches, don't ever get married to the outcome. You can only be in charge of how much you share. You can be in charge and say, I'm going to share this amount of times a day. I'm going to share with people, because a lot of people don't know. They don't understand. It has not been communicated with them. So our job is to share, because otherwise, if we don't share it, how will they know? So that's your job. Your job is to go out and share it. But what they do with that is on them. So if you don't take that on you and you just say, okay, great. Awesome, Mary. Okay. I get that. I totally understand. But when you're ready, Mary, I'll be right here, because you never downplay it, because we have an amazing product. It is awesome. It has helped so many people, and it is affordable. But it's just like having certain cars. We have an upper echelon of a product. You either want that or you don't. You want the Bentley or you don't want it. It's okay. It's okay. And be okay with it. Don't even be mad. It's all right. And you just move on.
Yeah. Absolutely. Great.
You're welcome. And I know that sometimes they want the magic, but I think that the magic is in moving on. Does that make sense? The magic isn't just saying, okay, I'll be here when you need me, because you never should apologize for your services or your worth or what that should never be something that you're feeling bad about. No, this is what it is. And I will be happy to help you when you can find out how to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Next. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I think too, something I have found is the longer you are in this business and the longer time period people have had to watch you, to see you stick with it, to look up one day and go, golly, it's been 5.5 years and Miranda's still drinking that same shake every day. She's not sick of it yet. She can still afford it. She obviously hasn't gone broke drinking it. In fact, she's living a better life now than she was 5.5 years ago. Maybe there's something to this. And so the deeper you get into your business and the more consistent you've been, the less and less you get price objections, because people have to trust you, especially if you've been authentic and you've shared about your journey.
We're 5 years in, 2 bags. 5 years, 2 bags. 5 years. So I'm like, somebody tripping about 1 bag, honey. I'm like, we have been buying 2 for 5 years. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's how I'm looking at them. Like, So.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And also, guys,
sometimes we haven't explained the value. You have to ask yourself 2 questions. Have I explained the value? So I always ask people, do you understand? I need to get an understanding. Do they understand? If they understand, then great, I've done what I had to do. If there's still some kind of, they really don't understand the value, then maybe I have not done well in communication. And that is when I will handle it. Not as a price objection, but more as a value proposition. I didn't explain the value. Let me tell you why. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. And guys, don't be afraid to share that kind of stuff publicly on social media. You know, outright do a post and say, I know a lot of people think Shakeology is expensive, but to me, it's worth it because, and just tell why. You know,
your story. Don't get into what. Let me tell you about ashwagandha. Nobody cares. Just tell your story.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're gonna be like, I don't need that. I'm going to Walmart. Okay, well, child. Because you have some people that's just gonna get their Slim Fast. You're never going to get them. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're never coming.
That's right.
Don't try to force it.
Yeah. And if they do decide to switch gears and go with a better product, they're gonna come to you because they know you've been consistent.
Right.
Well, I don't want to keep you guys on any longer. I know it's 10:30 in Atlanta, and we've got several East Coast girls out there in Georgia with you, Chonta. Shout out to
I see the next Saturday.
Yeah, and Amber. So thank you again for being on. Please let me know if we can return the favor to you in any way, shape, or form at any time. If there's something we can do to help you and your team. Give Chancellor a big old kiss from me and tell him next time we're on the beach together, I definitely want to go shark hunting again.
Yes.
And tell your husband we said hello. And again, thank you so much. I'll share the recording, you guys. I'll send it to you, Chonta, and I'll share it in our team page so you guys can pass it along to your downline. And everybody have a blessed night and continue to kick butt in August, right?
Yes, I love you guys. Good luck. You have an amazing leader. Keep it going strong.
Thanks, guys.